Emotions, Self-Esteem, and Personality Psychology. Chapter 1. An Emotion Guide. Man is an animal, controlling emotions is huge. Emotions are your natural feelings. Explore them so you know them, but learn to control them when you're with other people. Anger, hate and envy can get you in a lot of trouble. The facial expressions for most emotions seem to be universal, although cultures have rules, mostly about not expressing much emotions. A guy at a store picked an English girl out of the crowd in Paris. He spoke to her in English. She asked him how did he know she was English. The guy said because she had a self-satisfied smile on her face that you never see in non-English women. Emotions are a primal quick response to a situation or person. Your autonomic and central nervous systems react instinctively to situations. The basic emotions are anger, anxiety, contempt, desire, disgust, embarrassment, enthusiasm, envy, excitement, faith, fear, greed, guilt, happiness, hatred, hope, jealousy, love, pride, revenge, romance, sadness, shame, shyness, surprise. Women are not more emotional than men, but they are encouraged to express emotions more. One great challenge of life is to learn to control your emotions. If you can do that, you're on the way to enlightenment. Alexithymia is a disorder of low emotional recognition. An alexithymic person has difficulty in processing emotion in others and controlling their own emotions. Some techniques to control emotions are: 1. We approach pleasant situations and people. We avoid negative ones. 2. We can modify some situations to make us feel better. 3. If we don't like what's going on around us, we simply think about something else. 4. We make decisions to make ourselves feel better then act on them. Some emotion is temperament, but a lot is learning self-control. People try to use social rejection or negative emotions to manipulate others. Controlling your emotions is a high virtue, especially controlling anger. Control your emotions by staying away from people you don't like. Love has been described as a mental illness. Emotion is a natural part of workplace life. The more friends you make, the more successful you get. Most things you do are tinged with emotions. Emotional stability is appropriate empathy and otherwise an even temperament, not too much emotion, just being mundanely pleasant. A lot of people fake emotions. Stress leads to anger and sadness. Expressing negative emotions harms your physical and mental health. Worry, guilt, shame, anger, violence and sadness are negative emotions. If some emotions are suppressed, you feel bad. You have to get anger out one way or another. Do tough physical activities. A good cry feels good. Jamie Pennybaker, e.g. Pennybaker and Siegel, 1999, did studies where he found that talking and expressing yourself makes you feel good and improves your health. You're getting your feelings off your chest. If you think things through after they happen, it's good for you. Monitor your feelings and analyze them. Psychobablists say it gives you a sense of closure so you can move on. A lot of people, especially women, keep diaries because it's an expression and release of their emotions. I know how I feel. I think that when you put large groups of people together as in cities, it's an artificial way to live. I believe rural living is more natural. People always interfere with what you want to do for one reason or another. It's as simple as getting cut off in traffic or some egomaniac tries to stand in your way on the sidewalk. You either learn to control your emotions or end up in jail. It never ends. I'm like a Buddha in the way I think, but the anger still comes. It's a lifelong thing. If somebody dumps on you in some way, there is a good chance you will take that negative energy and use it to dump on somebody else, often harmless people like your children, your spouse, your pets, homeless people, etc. I think certain movies, music, and professional sports encourage the use of aggression and violence which a lot of men seem to imitate, getting them in trouble in the real world. A lot of men do not understand what is legal and acceptable behavior in society. Just because some action hero in some movie uses violence to solve his problems does not make it socially acceptable. This is really huge, but nobody talks about it. Thousands of men get arrested for aggressive, violent acts all the time. I think they need a course in high school to help men see what's real and what's macho bullshit. Music temporarily affects emotions. I believe that following one's true nature is the key to a great life, except for releasing your negative emotions directly on others. For me, the best way to get rid of anger is to minimize the time I spend thinking about negative people and negative actions. I simply get on with living my life, doing what I want, shutting all this bullshit out. I don't let assholes occupy space in my brain. I ignore them and stay away from them. At one time, I would never back down from anybody. Most people just said something negative to save face then walked away, but I've had fights. Nowadays I simply avoid eye contact with strangers and keep my mouth shut as much as I can. I have found that even the punkiest, wimpiest person has a sarcastic big mouth these days. I think it's pop culture indoctrination. My best bet is to look away, keep doing what I'm doing. Confrontation never solves anything. It's just two assholes trying to get one over on each other. It happens thousands of times every day all over the world. Some people get killed over it. Positive emotions are fine to try to feel euphoric, but I believe that negative emotions cause most of the evil acts in the world. Endorphins affect mood. Endorphins are neurotransmitters in the brain with names like catecholamines, serotonin, indolamines, dopamine, L-dopa, acetylcholine, norepinephrine, etc. A good presence of endorphins makes a person feel good. When they are depleted or in low supply, a person feels everywhere from depressed to anxious. The way they do this is a complex physiological process, but that's not really important. What is important is that they make you feel good, and it's relatively easy to create them. You pop them off when you do things like inspired activities, loving activities, sexual and sensual activities. There's your key right there. Norepinephrine is another word for adrenaline. Anything that excites you, stimulates you, inspires you, or feels good contributes to the release of endorphins in your body. Spend most of your time doing inspired activities because you can only spend so much time being loving or sexual. If you go over to sensuality too much, you lose self-respect because you're betraying the energy in your true nature. So if you can figure out how to do inspired activities every day and earn a living at it, you will always feel pretty good compared to everybody else. If you want to build up endorphin levels, taking dopamine as a supplement is ineffective. It's oxidized in the stomach. It never makes it to the brain. Some naturopathic substances like phenylalanine may increase the availability of the precursor for catecholamines. Tyrosine is gradually converted by various enzymes into L-dopa, then to dopamine, and finally to norepinephrine. The precursor of serotonin is tryptophan, an amino acid that's present in many foods and sold as a supplement. Tryptophan or 5-HTP may increase the availability of the precursor for serotonin, and this might help lower depression, anxiety, and sleep disorders. The precursor of melatonin is tryptophan. Although most of the melatonin is produced outside of the blood-brain barrier, it is able to cross it, controls the sleep-wake cycle. A deficit in melatonin can lead to sleep disorders, especially insomnia. Melatonin supplements help a person fall into a deep REM sleep. Acetylcholine is a non-monoamine neurotransmitter in the central and peripheral nervous systems. It is made from choline and acetyl coenzyme. Choline is a B-complex vitamin. It is present in egg yolks, soy, and meat. Lecithin and choline supplements may increase the availability of the precursor for acetylcholine, which helps keep thinking and memory strong. Glutamate, also known as glutamic acid, is an amino acid neurotransmitter synthesized from glutamine, a nutrient present in many meats, eggs, dairy products, wheat and various vegetables like cabbage, beets, beans, spinach, and parsley. Gamma-aminobutyric acid aka GABA is an amino acid neurotransmitter synthesized from glutamate. GABA tends to make people feel tired and lethargic. Increasing GABA neurotransmission and/or decreasing glutamate activation has been shown to be effective in treating various psychological disorders including mania, anxiety, and sleep problems. GABA does not easily cross the blood-brain barrier, so supplemental GABA appears to show no benefits except to make a person sleepy. Glycine is an amino acid synthesized from serine. Some of it is released into synapses as a neurotransmitter. The physiological effects of neurotransmitters on the brain are complex, but the one certainty is that more is good. Eat foods high in amino acids, the precursor for protein. Be active creatively, intellectually, physically, sensually, sexually, and lovingly. This will keep your endorphin levels high, therefore feeling anywhere from good to great. When you're tired and the endorphins in your brain are spent, you feel down. That's when you get snappy and lash out. Emotional baggage info. I don't believe in emotional baggage because every day when I wake up, my life is about releasing the natural energy from my true nature plus doing positive work to help the world right now. To me, emotional baggage is the big money idea of the so-called psychobabble, soppy self-help industries. Convince people that their problem in life is something from their past so they can dwell on it while these therapists and psychobabblists make money in therapy sessions talking about it. This is ridiculous, to give one moment of your life to anything that has passed. Every day is a new day to do something good to great for yourself and help other people because there is so much need, pain, and suffering in the world while these snake oil salesmen try to convince people to waste their time mulling over their pasts to heal some imaginary wounded inner child. You only get one life. Keep living it. Don't look back. Don't mourn for anything. It doesn't solve anything. Everybody has close people and pets who die. It's part of life. That's it. Keep living to honor what they would have wanted you to do. Suppose you have failed relationships. So what? It should not make you timid about new relationships. If you want to find a loving partner, you have to keep trying. Feelingaware.com, learn from your feelings. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/emotional_baggage. divorcemag.com/article/health_well_being/emotional baggage.html. emotionalbagcheck.com. girlsaskguys.com/article/relationship/emotional-baggage-really-get-rid-of-it.html. Emotional baggage, can we really get rid of it? girlsaskguys.com. justastuff.com/letting-go-of-emotional-baggage, letting go of emotional baggage. Emotional intelligence info. Emotional intelligence is about empathy, feeling what others feel. How to be relaxed and avoid stress. How to decrease conflicts with others. How to have good relationships. Know yourself to be stable and strong. To me, it's one of them psychobabble terms that some psychobabblist, Daniel Goleman, created in order to convince people they were deficient in emotional empathy so he could create a mini-industry by selling books, tests, and workshops on it. He makes the fallacious assumption that the human personality can be dissected into different, discrete parts, one of which is emotional intelligence, but it's all a crock of crap because we're holistic beings. Everything we think and do is tied into our emotions. We can't separate them from the rest of ourselves. Motivation and emotion. Motivation is supposedly the study of the factors influencing the direction, duration, and intensity of behavior. Emotion, according to psychobabble, is related to evolution and cognition, the limbic system, and the need for adaptive social interaction. You don't have to do research on human motivation. There are wimps and tough people. Tough people naturally have drive to go after what they want and will do the work. Wimps take the easy way out with TV and junk food. iconsortium.org, Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations. apa.org/pubinfo/anger.html, controlling anger before it controls USA on anger management. face-and-emotion.com, for people who want to know more about the human face. paulkman.com, Ekman website of Paul Ekman, the world's foremost researcher on emotion and facial expression. emotion.nsma.arizona.edu/emotion.html, Emotion homepage by Jean Marc Fellis and Eva Hudlicka. Emotional competency. faceresearch.org, Face Research. TheHappyGuy.com. eisource.com, Emotional Intelligence. allydog.com/101notes/mot-emot.html, Motivation and Emotion. psych.upenn.edu/seligman, Positive Psychology Center. inspirationandmotivation.com, motivating and inspirational quotes. risktaking.co.uk, the psychology of risk-taking. psich.org/pub/article/article_49.asp, self-doubt, handicaps and hard work. single-step.com. psych.stanford.edu/tilde/psyphy/projects.htm, Stanford Psychophysiology Laboratory descriptions research on cognitive and neural basis of emotion. psychclassics.yourq.ca/maslow/motivation.htm, A Theory of Human Motivation by A.H. Maslow, 1943. psychclassics.yourq.ca/james/emotion.htm, What is an Emotion? By William James, 1884. Emotion websites. darkpersonalities.com. ehau.com/about_4740272_emotional-support.html, About emotional support. emotionalhealinggetwarpspeed.com. emotionalhealthonline.com. emotionalintelligencecentral.org. emotionalliteracyeducation.com. emotionsrule.com. emotionsuniverse.com. eqi.org/emotions.htm, Emotions Importance of, Management of Negative Feelings. faqs.org/faq/support/emotional/resources-list, Emotional Support on the Internet. focusonemotions.nl. healthemotions.org/index.html, Biology of Positive Emotions. heartmath.com, Master Your Emotions. personalityresearch.org. socialpsychology.org. socialthinking.com. worldofemotions.com. Happiness, wellness, and emotional intelligence websites. gottman.com, Emotional Intelligence. iconsortium.org, Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations. eqperformance.com, Institute for Organizational Performance, Bring Emotional Intelligence into Organizations. unh.edu/emotional_intelligence. emotionaliq.com. authentichapinas.sas.upenn.edu, Authentic Happiness. bfe.org, Biofeedback Federation of Europe. bouncebackproject.org, Bounceback Project. centerhealthyminds.org, Center for Healthy Minds. charterforcompassion.org, Charter for Compassion. npp.eu, European Network for Positive Psychology. excelatlife.com, Excel at Life. forgivenessresearch.com, Forgiveness Research. greatergood.berkeley.edu, Greater Good, Science-Based Insights for a Meaningful Life. healingsheim.com, Center for Healing Shame. howtosleep.co.uk, How to Sleep, Guides and Product Reviews to Optimize Your Sleep. mypages.unh.edu/jdmeyer/emotional-intelligence-overview, Emotional Intelligence. selfdeterminationtheory.org, Center for Self-Determination Theory. sleepassociation.org, American Sleep Association. theforgivenessproject.com, The Forgiveness Project. internationalforgiveness.com, International Forgiveness Institute. Meaning.ca, International Network on Personal Meaning. IPPAnetwork.org, International Positive Psychology Association. ISRE.org, International Society of Research on Emotion, ISRE. International Stress Association.com, International Stress Association. ISMA.org.uk, International Stress Management Association. LiveYourLifeFuel.info, Live Your Life Well. National Resilience Resource.com, National Resilience Resource Center. SleepFoundation.org, National Sleep Foundation. CambridgeWELbeing.org, The Wellbeing Institute. EI.yale.edu, Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. PositivePsychology.com, Positive Psychology. ppc.sas.upenn.edu, Positive Psychology Center. Pursuit-of-happiness.org, Pursuit of Happiness. ResiliencyCenter.com, Resiliency Center. SelfCareToolkit.net, Self-Care Toolkit. Sleep.org, Sleep.org. Stress.org.uk, Stress Management Society. The-stress-site.net, The Stress Site. ViaCharacter.org, the Via Institute on Character. Webspace.ship.edu/cgbor/perscontents.html, Personality Theories. Emotional Impairment Websites. PPAL.net, Parent/Professional Advocacy League, PAL. PAL is the statewide organization of the Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. AACAP.org, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, AASAP. ADULpsych.org, American Society for Adolescent Psychiatry, ASAP. CCBD.net, Council for Children with Behavioral Disorders, CCBD. FFCMH.org, Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health, FFCMH. NAMI.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. NIMH.nih.gov/index.shtml, National Institute of Mental Health, NIMH. samhsa.gov/about/cmhs.aspx, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. TAPartnership.org, Technical Assistance Partnership for Child and Family Mental Health. Chapter 2. A Self-Esteem Guide. Good and Bad Self-Esteem. I didn't write this. I believe I have a soul and that's it. One-liners mean nothing to me. My engine is my true nature/soul/essence. Good self-esteem. You have an overall feeling of hope about life. You treat others with kindness and respect. You're thankful for what you have. You exert a healthy level of independence. You feel little need to compare yourself with others. You're comfortable with failure. You're not afraid to say no. You're willing to work hard. You shy away from gossip. You have confidence in your own abilities. You take care of yourself, both physically and emotionally. You have a desire to help others. You know it's okay to lose or not always finish in first place. You seek out or are accepting of change. You have a strong sense of personal responsibility. You're open-minded to other viewpoints and opinions. Bad self-esteem. You're quick to get jealous or envious. You're constantly negative about yourself and/or others. Your feeling of self-worth is based on how you compare to other people. You gloss over positive things in life and dwell on the negatives. You feel compelled to achieve perfection. You're overly private or secretive. You fish for compliments. You constantly procrastinate or waste time with respect to the task at hand. You have frequent feelings of self-doubt. You're quick to blame others for personal mistakes or problems. You try to control others. You're overly positive, almost to the point of delusion. You internalize general negativity in the world by using it as proof of low self-worth. Self-esteem websites. 1. The psychobabble industry comes up with the term self-esteem, self-actualization, personality, identity, etc. Then create all kinds of stupid articles, tests, and books about them, but I know it's all BS. You will never be happy unless you discover your true nature away from everything you've ever been brainwashed by. Then honor it by releasing that natural energy every day to match your inherent standard of what a noble version of you is. Your true nature is the pure you. You don't need the world's bullshit to know you have a purity you should follow and live by. Keep piling the bullshit onto all those naive college students. Self-Esteem-NACE.org, NACE, National Association for Self-Esteem. allpsych.com/personalityxenosize/contents.html, personality synopsis. arbrune.com, cognitive perceptual theory. chebukto.ns.ca/health/psychosynthesis, psychosynthesis homepage. autorank.com, rank, auto rank. childdevelopment.com/development/temperament_and_your_child.htm, temperament and your child's personality. childrensvillage.org/programs-support.htm, the Children's Village, psychological and emotional support. cln.org/theme/self_esteem.html, self-esteem. eapp.org, European Association of Personality Psychology. ericberne.com, author of Games People Play and founder of Transactional Analysis. freudpsa.com, Freud PSA. human-nature.com/esterzon/index.html, Freud, Jeffrey Masson and Freud Seduction Theory. issid.org, International Society for the Study of Individual Differences. issiweb.org, International Society for Self and Identity. khanacademy.org/test-prep/mcat/individuals-and-society, self-identity, Khan Academy videos. kidshealth.org/kids/feelings/emotions/self_esteem.html, the story on self-esteem. kidshealth.org/parents/emotions/feelings/self_esteem.html, developing your child's self-esteem. ksi.cpsc.ucalgary.ca/bcp/bcp.html, personal construct psychology. panc.ca, personality and consciousness project to describe all the major theorists online. learner.org/exhibit/personality, personality. more-self-esteem.com, building self-esteem. more-self-esteem.com/whatisself-esteem.htm, what is self-esteem? netdoctor.co.uk/sex_relationships/facts/self-esteem.htm, self-esteem. object-relations.com, object relations. panc.ca, personality and consciousness, covers historical figures and theorists. panc.ca, personality and consciousness, profiles of historical figures and theorists. perpsi.org, World Conference on Personality, Personality Psychology Foundation. perpsi.org, World Conference on Personality, Personality Psychology Foundation. personality-arp.org, Association for Research in Personality. personalitypedagogy.arcadia.edu/pmwiki/pmwiki.php, Personality Pedagogy, a wiki of teaching resources. personality-project.org, the Personality Project, links related to personality theory and research. personalityresearch.org, great ideas in personality, focuses on scientific research programs. philosophy.ucf.edu/pi.html, research sources on concepts of person and self. Research. self-esteem-nace.org, National Association for Self-Esteem. selfgrowth.com. sunzite.unc.edu/personality/faq-mbti.html, Jung, Myers-Briggs Resources. 10dfonline.com/toc/psai20/current, self, and identity, ISSI Research Journal. ThePersonalitySystem.org, Personality Psychology, a Systems Framework Approach. ummos.org/self, research sources on concepts of person and self. webspace.ship.edu/cgbor/perscontents.html, Personality Theories, an electronic textbook. winja.com/gigaentu/psych/theorists.html, Personality Theorists. winja.com/personality/theorists_Jung.html, Jung, Eric Petitfers Jung page. Self-esteem websites too. cci.health.wa.gov.au/resources/looking-after-yourself/self-esteem, improving self-esteem. cci.health.wa.gov.au/resources/looking-after-yourself/body-dysmorphia, building body acceptance, workbook for body dysmorphic disorder. cci.health.wa.gov.au/resources/looking-after-yourself/appearance-concerns, caring less about your looks. cope-scotland.org/images/easy-blog_articles/39/confidence-workboo_201714-071558_1.pdf, Confidence Workbook. ibr.tcu.edu/wp-content/upload/2013/09/tw-manual.pdf, Preparation for Change, The Tower of Strengths and the Weekly Planner. joanna-platt.com/wp-content/upload/2016/07/love-your-self-love-your-life.pdf, Love Yourself, Love Your Life. mindcharity.co.uk/wp-content/upload/2016/04/build-yourself-up.pdf, Build Yourself Up. mindtools.com/download/lbr52838s/building-yourself-confidence.pdf, Building Yourself Confidence. nhsggc.org.uk/media/243781/self-esteem-03-15.pdf, Issues with Self-Esteem. Self-Esteem Self-Help Booklet. northsexyap.nhs.uk/site/default/files/2020-03/low%20 self-esteem.pdf, Working on Your Self-Esteem. queensu.ca/student-wellness/supports-resources, Just As I Am Workbook, The Practice of Self-Care and Compassion. self-esteem-experts.com/support-files/self-esteem free ebook.pdf, How to Build Your Self-Esteem in a Weekend. static1.squarespace.com/static/5b3517f20966b74c7b036674090-1556646-radical_authentic_self-love-inquiry_workbook.pdf, Radical Authentic Self-Love. talktogether.nhs.uk/wp-content/upload/2017/01/guide-low-self-esteem.pdf, Let's Talk Low Self-Esteem, a Self-Help Guide. Chapter 3. A Personality Psychology Guide. Personality Psychology Organizations. aptinternational.org, Association for Psychological Type. Personality-arp.org, Association for Research in Personality. arpdonline.com, Association for Research in Personality Disorders. bga.org, Behavior Genetics Association. bsbid.org.uk, British Society of the Psychology of Individual Differences. cap.org, Center for Applications of Psychological Type. eapp.org, European Association of Personality Psychology. id-association.org, Individual Differences Association. Colorado.edu, Institute for Behavioral Genetics. ISSID.org, International Society for the Study of Individual Differences. Groups.psychology.org.au/PIDPIG, Personality and Individual Differences Psychology Interest Group, APS. Socialpersonality.ca, Social and Personality Section, Canadian Psychological Association. SPSP.org, Society for Personality and Social Psychology, Division 8 of the APA. Personality.org, Society for Personality Assessment. Personality Journal websites. interscience.wiley.com/cgi-bin/jhome/4494, European Journal of Personality, EAPP Journal. idr-journal.com, Individual Differences Research. hography.com/periodical/journal-of-individual-differences, Journal of Individual Differences. wiley.com/bw/journal.asp?ref=0022-3506, Journal of Personality. apa.org/pub/journal/psp, Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, APA Journal. 10df.co.uk/journal/title/00223891.asp, Journal of Personality Assessment, SPA Journal. elsevier.com/wps/find/journal description.cws_home/6228897/description, Journal of Research in Personality, ARP Journal. science-direct.com/science/journal/01918869, Personality and Individual Differences, ISID Journal. spsp.org/?page=PSBB, Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, SPSP Journal. spsp.org/?page=PSBR, Personality and Social Psychology Review, SPSP Journal. apa.org/pub/journal/PA, Psychological Assessment, APA Journal.